Now, before we get started here this morning, I very seldom give out tips because I don't feel that I'm qualified to give out tips. Those of you who have been watching this series from episode number 1 will know that I'm just sort of bumbling through this and having a real good time. Once in a while I'll come up with an idea that I think is good and I'll pass it on as a tip. Now here is a tip, and it's not my idea. In fact, I think that possibly somebody had suggested this way back, maybe months ago, back when we were doing these separate sections. Like this was a section, then we had the funnel section, and then we had the aft section. And we did those three separately. And somebody, I believe, said, put your railings on before you glue them down, the sections down onto the main deck. Well, I didn't do that. And I wish I had, because it would be so much easier if I could just take, say, this one section here and be able to sort of manipulate it around and get my railing stuck on it. And also there's a lot less chance of accidentally breaking this mast off when you're working over here, so to speak. And so far I've been lucky. I haven't broke any masts off. Well, I did break this little part off right here. I forget how I did it. I think one of these cords caught on it or something. I'm not sure. And we're not done. I could accidentally still catch my arm or my hand, or even when I'm using my pointer, I have to be careful. You know, it's so easy to do, but it would be so much easier if these three sections had been left separate. So if you're going to be doing a kit like this, my recommendation is put your railings on before you glue them down onto the main deck. And then of course you have to have them glued down before you're going to do the rigging. Anyway, you get the idea. Yesterday, while yesterday's episode was uploading, I did swing the ship around, and I have now done the railing here. You can't see it, but it's the same as this one here. And it went pretty good. Well, maybe I'll bring the camera around and I'll show you. And then we'll try and find another spot that we got to do today. We put the starboard side railing on the very same way as we did the port side in yesterday's video. And as near as I can tell, there is no other places on this part of the superstructure that a crew member could obviously fall off. You know, like right here, and of course this one here that we just did. So now we're down to this deck here, and it's got a few little bends in it that the railing's going to have to follow. I'll have to think about that. There's a nice straight section here, of course, and right here where the walkout bridge is, it has to have railing on both sides of it here. Okay, let's get at it, I guess. Maybe we can start right here. We just need a railing that's at a bit of a right angle, and it'll go right on the top of this. That should be pretty easy. Now, I realize that I didn't show it being done, but this morning I went back down in the workshop and I worked on these dividers again. I took the spring down just a little bit more, and I'm finding that they are easier to micro adjust if you go from, say, the smallest, squeeze them together and then micro adjust with the adjustment nut, opening them up. Not that I, can't turn it like this, which I'm doing right now. Just that that's the way they work best. The spring is just enough to hold a little bit of tension on it, And that's all I need for the kind of work that I want to do. Anyway, I think we got this just about right here. I'm noticing on this corner here, it looks like I might have rubbed the paint off. Or is it possibly when I had that area masked off, the masking tape sort of hit it? I don't know. I can't remember exactly how I did it anymore, so long ago. Now another thing that I did here is I took my 1000 grit sandpaper and I went over these points again, because I was finding that it was just too easy to accidentally scratch the paint on the model if I accidentally touched it. Now I'm going to try not to block your vision here. I like these rounded corners. I know that on the real Bismarck it probably wasn't like that. Alright, now this end here has to turn up this way. The posts are on the other side. And I think if I put it about here, because this side is going to be the outside of the fence, so I want it to bend like this. I'll just make a little kink in it, and then I'll, oops, want to find something flat here. Okay, I think I should be able to see that. And I'll put it on the rubber and we'll do it the rest of the way. Now I know there's going to be somebody say, well, Ron, why didn't you use the rubber in the first place? And the reason for that is because I hope you noticed how well the fence stood out against the white paper. Now let's get this in the right spot here. I think that's it. All right. I'll straighten that out just a little bit. Now we'll get our distance that we have to go from here to here. Now for this measurement here, my divider does not want to fit in there very good. Maybe just a little bit smaller. Okay, let's try that. Maybe just a little bit bigger. Well, we'll see where it comes on the fence. If it happens to stop at a post, that'll be great. If not, maybe just a little bit longer so that the loose ends can sort of ride up against this wall, if you know what I mean. Okay, I've got it taped down onto a piece of plexiglass here. And now it's too bad that post wasn't in just a little bit. But why don't we just, for the fun of it, snip it off and save the post. And we'll see where is that post going to come when we actually lay the part on. Yeah. You know what? I think I better take it off and use something else, because the post is on the other side, and I had wanted to use the post to bring the cutter up against. So I'm going to take it off and do this a little bit differently. Now I am enjoying myself videoing today, and usually whenever I start really enjoying myself, I'm about to have something really drastic go wrong here. Like maybe I can't get this off of the tape. Okay. Now, here's the plan. All right. All right, we'll zoom in right there. Okay, here is what I was talking about. If I can get the blade right up against the post. That's about as against it as I can get here, I guess. I thought I nipped that off. Maybe I didn't go all the way through all of the rails. Well, I did that time. Now you just know I gotta poke at it a little bit. Okay, you know what I'm about to say. This is the first time I'm trying this. And I hope I'm going to be able to just leave it on and glue it in place. Okay, I did eventually get it. Actually, it didn't take too long. And as you can see, I've propped my poor man's wax pencil up against it here so that when I touch it with the CA applicator, I'm not going to knock it off. At least that's the plan. Now as I'm editing this scene out, I can see that the fence moved back out and I didn't notice. Gonna have to redo that one. It is well after 3 o'clock here in Winnipeg already, and if I don't get at my final edit, this particular video is going to be late getting posted. Now I had intended to talk about this old piece of gas line hose that was in my toolbox, but that's going to have to wait until tomorrow. And speaking of tomorrow, all being well, we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.